Dear students, welcome to Madrasa. Today's lesson is going to be about using prefixes to form opposites. By the end of the lesson, you will be able to correctly use prefixes to form opposites. Please bring a piece of paper to write down the most important notes. Let's get started. What is a prefix? A prefix is a group of letters added to the beginning of a word to form a new word. Some examples of prefixes are an and this, etc. So, forming opposites. In today's lesson, I'll be sharing with you some prefixes that you can use to form the opposite of some words. Some of these prefixes are this, an, ir, in, I am, and L. So we're going to see some examples and how to form the opposite of some words. Like, so we have the prefix this and we have the word like. So it gives us the opposite of like, which is dislike. We have the prefix an and the word happy. So the opposite of happy is unhappy. We have the prefix ir and we have the word regular. It gives us the opposite irregular. So the opposite of regular is irregular. In and the word direct, it gives us the opposite of the word direct, which is indirect. We have the prefix im and the word possible. It gives us the opposite of possible, which is impossible. And finally, we have the prefix il and we have the word legal. So il plus legal, it gives us the opposite of legal, which is illegal. So we use the following prefixes to form the opposite of some words. But the question is, on what basis can we decide which prefix goes with which word? And I'll be sharing with you some rules that can help you decide which prefix goes with which word. So, rule number 1. We generally, I emphasize on the word generally, it means not always. Generally speaking, we use the prefix il before words starting with L. Example, legible, illegible, literate, illiterate. However, we have some exceptions. Grammar is full of exceptions. So, lawful, we don't say unlawful, but we say unlawful. And learn, we don't say ill-learn, we say unlearn, etc. And we have some exceptions, but these are the most important 2 exceptions when it comes to this rule. We move on to rule number 2. We generally use the prefix ir before words starting with r. Example, relevant, irrelevant, responsible, irresponsible. However, we have some exceptions. So, real, we say unreal. Respect, the opposite of respect is disrespect. Reasonable is unreasonable, etc. We have some exceptions as well. Let's move on to the third rule. We generally use the prefix im before words starting with m, p, and b. Examples, moral, immoral, perfect, imperfect, balance, imbalance. Once more time, we have some exceptions. So, married, the opposite of married is unmarried, though we have m. Marked, the opposite of marked is unmarked. The opposite of paid is unpaid. And the opposite of pack is unpack. These are some exceptions that you need to memorize. Note, we can use the suffix lis to form the opposite of some words. So we can use also the suffix less to form the opposite of some words, not only prefixes. Let's see some examples. So harmful, the opposite of harmful is harmless. And, endless. Meaningful, meaningless. Job, jobless. So bear in mind that the suffix less can be used to form some opposites. But generally speaking, we use prefixes to form the opposite. Now let's move on to practice. Give the opposites of the following words keeping the same root. It means you are going to give the opposite of the following words without changing the root of the word. It means without changing the origin of the word. You are going to add prefixes or suffixes to form the opposite of the following words. These words are approve, probable, powerful, civilized, retrievable, correct, legitimate, agreement, measurable, rational. Let's get started. So we have the word approve. What is the opposite of approve? Which suffix or prefix we need to use to form the opposite? So approve, the opposite is disapprove. We generally add the prefix dis when the word starts with a. I say generally, not always. Now the next word, probable. Now the word probable starts with p. Which prefix we should use? Try to remember the rule I gave you. P, we use with it im or I am. Therefore, the opposite of probable is improbable. The next word, powerful. What is the opposite of powerful? Which prefix or suffix we should use to form the opposite of powerful? So powerful ends with the suffix full. So therefore, we use the suffix this time, the suffix less. So powerful, powerless. The next one, civilized. The opposite of civilized is uncivilized. The next one, retrievable. Now the word retrievable starts with R, therefore we need to add the prefix IR. So we have irretrievable, retrievable, irretrievable, irretrievable because it starts with R. Let's see more examples. So we have the word correct. The opposite is incorrect. We don't have any rule. You need to memorize the word, or if you are not sure, you need to check dictionary to confirm your prediction. Legitimate. Here the word legitimate, it starts with L, so we need to use the prefix IL. So legitimate, illegitimate. The next one, agreement. The opposite, disagreement. This is similar to approve, disapprove. So agreement, disagreement. The next one, measurable. The word measurable, it starts with M. Therefore, we need to use IM or the prefix IM to form the opposite of measurable. So measurable, the opposite is immeasurable. And the last one, we have rational. Rational, it starts with the letter R. Therefore, we use IR to form the opposite. So rational, irrational. So rational, irrational. Thank you very much indeed, dear students. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. Please don't forget to join our Facebook community and subscribe in our YouTube channel. Stay tuned for more videos.